Hello and welcome to the 15K recap of the OCR World Championships 2021 15K.
15K, yeah. It's been a hell of a day. So I'm Mike Stefano and Jason Dupree, and we're going to be kicking off an awesome recap of how Saturday went down.
The 15K, let's first take a look at the map again real quick. This map was a little bit backwards from previous years, but ended up going in a part of the mountain that we've never gone on before. So we had a pretty big climb up to where Gibbons were and a couple of other obstacles before coming back down to the village and then hitting that 1.5-mile climb all the way to the top.
Yes.
So thankful that the climb was there and that we got to run down the road on the backside, because that road was a lot more mellow and way more enjoyable.
I'm grateful I didn't run the 15K and trash myself, so that's what I'm grateful for.
Yeah, so I did run the 15K, and like I said, it was cool to do the climb in the middle of the race and know that that you're almost there, instead of doing it first and then being trashed at the end of it.
Yeah.
Pretty fantastic.
Super long time. I saw a lot of the elites not running it, so it goes to show it does some damage to everybody.
Yeah, and we haven't seen the preems times yet,
right?
But I'm very interested to see who got King of the Mountain, Queen of the Mountain.
Yeah,
pretty cool. So first off, let's just talk about the course a little bit. It was that full course, a lot of really awesome obstacles that we didn't get to see yesterday. Gibbons, I would say, was a little easier than last year. The handles, the apparatuses
closer.
Were not. Yeah, they were closer to each other. They weren't as far away apart as they were 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And so I actually, personal experience, I skipped the first one because it was just so close.
Yes.
I skipped the first one, went to the second one, and at that point I was like, I'm so close, I can just lâcher to this. So I took a couple of swings and then went and hit the bell.
Nice.
Now I saw. We may have a video of it, but I saw one of the pros skip. They went to the second one, skip one,
mm-hmm.
and then just lâcher from there.
Excellent.
They just so fast.
Yeah.
Oh man, crazy. But let's get into the leaderboard first.
Yes.
For the men's side, this was a pretty amazing race to watch. So Logan Broadbent actually went out first. He was ahead of the crowd from the get-go.
Yeah. And
led for a while until VJ caught him.
Yes.
And VJ led all the way up till towards the top of the climb. He had a pretty decent gap all the way up there. And then something happened to him towards the top of the climb, or maybe at the top of the climb, and then Logan took over, and then obviously Igor and Ryan Kimpson took him from there.
So what I had heard, I didn't get to talk to VJ himself, but I talked to his family and whatnot, and they said that he just went out a little too hot, and that's kind of all that happened. He just burned out a little bit out there and just couldn't really get it back together in time.
Yeah, and his focus coming out here, I think we said this yesterday, his focus was to win the 3K.
And he is the 3K world champion.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And then so today maybe he went out, obviously if he starts, he wants to win. Yeah. But a little piece of him was probably I just want to go, I want to keep racing, I want to have fun.
Yeah, so he's already here, why not?
Yeah. And then so Ryan Kimpson taking over at the end.
Yes.
I watched
Pendulum?
Ryan, yes, past
that
Igor
is the
or Logan.
Yes, past Logan.
At Pendulum.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Now, when did Igor pass Logan?
So, I think that was at the carry. So, I was talking to Kempson,
Wow.
and Kempson was saying he was a little worried about Logan being so close to him because Logan has some solid skills. He got some good foot speed, got some great obstacle work there. And so he said he tried to burn him a little bit on the carry. And that was a big carry. And when I believe Logan finished the carry briefly before Igor, and they were neck and neck when it came to the two slip walls. I got some good footage of that, which was really fun to watch. And then they battled it out and evidently just kind of finished up with Ricochet. And Igor was finishing as Logan was starting it. And I think that was the end right there.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Ian Hosick in fourth. I honestly never noticed where Ian was. We're looking at the footage from our rabbits.
Mm-hmm.
So it's unfortunately, in this circumstance, smaller screens. The videos are not super close up all the time, so it's kind of hard to tell who's who.
Yeah.
Somebody that stood out the entire time was, oh, come on. Why am I forgetting his name?
Aaron?
Shirt. Aaron Newell.
Yeah.
Aaron Newell. He wore a white shirt and white shorts, and he stood out so much the entire time. It was awesome.
Ian, I talked to him. He said he's not the most thrilled with his performances. At fourth is the worst place to come in because you're just off the podium. But he just had trouble getting things together. He said his climbing was pretty good, but he just made some simple mistakes on some obstacles, and it just caught up to him. But if you look at his time, he didn't take fourth by as much as I thought. He was down by a lot, but I think he made up a big gap towards the end. So kudos to him there. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I'm gonna guess at this one, Defoe Manuel. I
do not know.
From Denmark.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Where did he come from?
Is that Denmark?
Yes, that's the same.
I didn't know there was. I thought there were only 3 Danes here. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, where did he come from? It's awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Welcome.
Yeah, super cool. And then down there in the list, Ryan that we saw in the 3K.
Right. Yep. Ryan Brizolara, who's looking forward to this event much more than yesterday.
Grady,
his lungs are still sticky, but he put in some solid work.
Grady Jackson. I don't believe we saw him on the top 10 yesterday.
Definitely not. I'm not familiar with that name, but kudos to Grady. That's a solid performance.
I don't even know for sure if he ran yesterday or not. That would be something we have to look into.
No, yeah.
But Alvaro Vasquez and Fernando Valenzuela,
yep.
In the top 10. We've got
some good countries here.
I really had to make sure I got this right, and it's Ecuador and Nicaragua, and I'm pretty sure Alvaro is Ecuador and Fernando is
the other one,
Nicaragua.
I'm pretty good with flags. I don't know those two.
I looked them up earlier, so I really apologize if I got that incorrectly, got them backwards, but I feel pretty confident I got the right flags
50-50 shot.
But
I am familiar with both of their names, and very cool to see them out there in the top 10.
Funny thing about their two names, when you try to search them on Facebook,
mm-hmm.
they come up with pro soccer player and baseball player.
Really? I wonder if it's just kind of common names.
First name and last name.
Really?
Same. Yeah.
That's very
crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. So super cool there. Let's take a look at some of the replays that we've got for the men. We've got some really interesting stuff here.
Awesome.
I'm going to try and do this and not mess things up like I did last time. Okay. I'm going to try. Here we go.
And the men are off.
Hang on. They're too loud. Let us turn our sound down here first so it doesn't bother you guys.
Up the hill they go.
So that was just
see who we've got out in the front of the pack.
Start. And just wanted to show here Logan out in the front, right off the bat. Yeah, he really took a commanding
like
charge.
Logan Rodman in first.
Real quick, not to shy away from the fact again, he's from the Maldives,
yeah.
And not only flights to get here, but speedboats and planes, trains, automobiles.
Logan
this man
well
traveled hours and hours and hours to get here. Not to get here, to get to Boston to drive up to here. So his legs were, he said they weren't
great obstacle
in tip-top
proficiency.
shape. Right behind him, you see Ryan Brizolara, staying pretty hot on his heels, which is good to see.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at the next clip. Oh, that's the same one. The women, while we were waiting for them to start, having a good time. Look at that.
I love seeing
Rose
that.
and another athlete having a good time.
And Harry, I'm not as familiar with her. I didn't see her at the finish line. So.
Yeah, I know we're talking about the men, but that was mixed in because they were still waiting to start. But
much more interesting with the ladies there having fun. Yeah. I like that.
Somebody made a comment that the men's start from the women's start was just so different.
We're out there to the men.
Yep.
Oh, a little bit of Lachey to the first.
Here
one.
is Logan on
Hanging
trapeze. What a great obstacle!
So really got to.
You gotta have a good reach, a good swing to really make that obstacle work. And these two guys right behind him,
hard to tell who's who. The sunlight is definitely VJ's swing.
Yep, and I believe that was probably Ryan right behind him.
I imagine so. Yeah.
But yeah, they were pretty close for a while.
The men coming through, kind of hard to tell who's who.
Those two guys at the same time. But there's the women's start. We're gonna come back to them in just a moment.
Solid field, that's it.
Not a bad crowd.
Those obstacles this morning. It was definitely.
Now this is kind of hard to tell, but this is Givens and
quite prominent on the.
You're just seeing. I believe that.
Also, the weather down here is going to be very different from the weather up there too. So
but really, what we saw,
a lot colder.
People asking for it was hard to tell who was third for a while there.
Not sure at the moment. We're seeing
Givens
Logan
was, like we said, it was a little
right
easier,
on his heels in second.
I think it was just really cool to see right here how those guys went through it.
Tricky to be able to transition from
VJ,
one section to the next.
Watch. This is like the down the first
I
descent.
saw somebody who was a much stronger runner
Lazy.
than me.
I love
right
this
next to me
speed
slid
right
off.
here.
Had to redo it. Just because
Look at that
he
fitness.
missed
We
his
say it for the
footing.
women, we can say it for the men.
While transitioning.
He's looking strong. He's looking real strong.
Oh, it's a gorgeous view.
So cool. And again, VJ
Look at him
on
go.
technique,
Look at him go.
blasting through.
Oh no, they shut the lights off.
Here's VJ through the Valkyrie.
Yep.
Just making it. Oh, didn't even touch the last 3 rings. So
He's got
awesome.
that wingspan.
Coming
man.
in.
Logan coming in, looking a little winded. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm sure he bombed down that hill to try and catch up.
Yes.
Now
Taking
watch
a second
this.
to
Skips the first
skip
one,
that
jumps
first
into the
ring.
second. He is a short guy.
They-
I'm trying to point that out.
They probably should have
Watch.
clarified that.
And
you
I know
don't
there were
touch the top
discrepancies.
anymore,
Oh,
too.
he's
Yes,
kind of getting
but-
up there.
He has struggles for a
There are
minute, skips the
discrepancies
top
about
2.
it.
Somebody
Telling him
probably
you gotta
said
touch at least
something,
Yeah,
one of
they
the
need
top
to-
ones.
and he goes back to it.
That's Adrian was asking about like what the the consensus
And
is
here
right now.
comes Kimpson.
Some
making
issues
up
with the
some time,
volunteers
possibly.
there. Some of them weren't fixing bells.
Yeah, and there's
He's got Logan in his
Kimpson right
sights,
behind
so
him.
he's
And that was right before the second climb, which was about 1.5 miles, 2 miles.
There's Aaron Newell standing out in his white shirt. You can see him when you can't tell who anybody else is. You can tell that that's him. So awesome.
Really have it over Aaron. You got to get.
Yeah, no, I told him earlier today. It's like you stood out, and it was awesome. He said that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
You know. So this was just a cool shot as our rabbit was going up the gondola that you could
VJ's
see
on
the
the
obstacles. And I believe that's either
Force
Logan or
low
Ryan
rig, I
right
believe,
there.
or he's
Trying to
about
catch
to
up
be
to him.
onto it.
Yeah. So, our rabbit made it up to the top well before they did and waited, but it was just great to see these aerial shots of these guys. Watch how fast he goes through. Somebody came out the front right ahead of him.
Okay.
Yeah, Logan's or whoever that was still
Nice
on
and
it.
easy.
I was just really happy with some of the shots that our rabbits got today.
Looks like Logan going through.
And here's
the low
our
rig now.
Dylan Scott, our foot rabbit
Low
that was
rig,
running
not too
with the
tricky.
guys.
I
Really
love
awesome job he
Low
did.
rigs,
Yeah.
being able to
And
use
that
your feet
I
really
believe
takes
is
your
Logan
weight off
coming
your
off
hands,
of
so
the rig there.
it feels like you can do some even more amazing things.
This was cool to see Aaron and these other guys. There was like a
After
pack of 3 of them that stayed together for
the
so long.
Low rig.
Like it was
and
amazing how long. Like usually, this field spreads out. It was amazing
after
how
low rig
long
is
they
top
stayed as a
shelf.
group.
They'll work
Yeah.
with their way.
Back up the gun.
Again, just enjoying. I hope that the people got to see this.
This view
But
right
I
here.
think just like that view.
So
Yeah.
I mean, that's you get to the top of the mountain, and that was the cool thing about running this race. That mountain is hard to climb, but man, that view does make it work. I mean, it's so good.
Commentary on how you.
This
think
was super
VJ's
cool that our
doing.
rabbit got to ride back down the gondola with VJ's dad.
Yep.
And we let that play for a while, and he just let him talk. It was awesome.
Very cool. Yeah.
Texas
He
favorite
just
Chris
seems great, as well as
Rogowski
his
from the
girlfriend's
Grit
family is.
Fitness Pro
All right,
Team.
so we're into
She
the
is
women
right
now.
on
So let's
Lizzie's
hold
butt.
for a second. Yeah, that's Chris. I want to show this on the
Rogowski.
Rogowski.
I've been
Yes.
saying it wrong.
Yeah, apologies. But before we do that, let's take a look at their times.
All right.
Lindsay and Ida.
Just like yesterday.
Yeah. And Chris in third.
Mm-hmm.
So awesome. So
Awesome work. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It's unfortunate with these kind of races how hard it is to capture both the men's and the women's race. But I would love to have gotten to see where did Chris and Rose, like how did that play out?
Yeah.
Because yesterday it was kind of the opposite, right?
It was.
Chris
It was
third,
Rose and
was fourth.
Ida. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and for myself, I actually had to go run my race when all this was happening.
Mhm.
So I had Miles Keller take over for me, and he did amazing. And he was doing all the switching whenever this happened. So super cool, awesome job to him. But
Yeah. There's Julie Harchis on there again. I think she's Grit Games, that kind of athlete. Still not familiar with her. I don't know Cassandra McCartney.
Rachel Corgliano,
Yep.
Ken. I didn't catch how Ken did.
I don't
did
either.
He even race.
I heard his name get announced, but I don't know how he did. But kudos to Rachel. She who's doing really good out there. Allie Tippett's American Ninja Warrior. She has a solid team put together for tomorrow. Amy Magic Pagic, also from American Ninja Warrior. She put in some good times there.
Better placement than she got yesterday.
Much better.
Which is very interesting, and maybe that's just her foot speed in general, because this was much more of a slog as opposed to the quick, fast race yesterday.
Yep.
And Tiffany Palmer.
Yes. Yep. Former Spartan Pro. I don't really know what's going on with that, but yeah, I'm very familiar with her. She did very well at Greek Peak back when that was an event up by here.
Super awesome. All right, let's take a look at these highlights. All right, so let's watch Chris go through this. Chris, we see these pros go through these obstacles, and obviously they do some pretty amazing things. And it's rare that you see something like this happen.
Texas favorite Chris Rogowski
she still got
in the
third
Grid Fitness
with
Pro
this,
team. She is right on Lindsay's butt. She is really, really close.
Right.
Oh, no, she misses the transition. Nice save. Pulls back to get the momentum on the forward swing. Yep, she grabs it this time, no problem. She knows that's going to cost her precious seconds. She just needs to capitalize, and that's when it was more difficult. I don't expect to see any difficulties here.
Different.
See if she changes any technique. Yeah, she's going to skip a rein. She's going to go right down to that bottom one and then up. Yeah, boom. See how she keeps her arms close to her body, keeping that tension. Nails the bell. There's our second place female. We know Lindsay has this wrapped up in the bag. She has a commanding lead. Let's see. Oh, there's Ida. I believe that's Ida. Yeah, it is. From Denmark. Coming in the Urban Sky. Boom, there we go.
Here's Lindsay through.
She's going to close this out until we get more footage of second and third place.
Watch this one.
Yep, she's been through this obstacle a billion times.
Go the other side.
Yeah, it's a pain when those. Yeah, you expect the one circular obstacle to move completely around, and when it doesn't move, it kind of throws you off.
So yeah, that's we didn't get as many clips today of the women just because of time constraints, but we were glad that we got a lot yesterday. The lights outside have turned off, as you can see. So we are going to wrap it up there. Tomorrow is the team relay starting at 8:30. We're going to try and get nice. We're going to try and get our cameras rolling by 8:15. We'll see how that goes, but we're hoping to have another good stream tomorrow.
Real quick before we go on that, what are your thoughts on the teams? Do you have any idea on who's competing where?
I've heard a little bit about some teams. I know it's going to be a great event.
I think the one that I'm most excited about is the co-ed. I know Deep Sanity has Jareen, it has Ryan Verzalara, as well as Jarrett Newby, and there's also going to be the Danes. So there's going to be, I believe his name is Patrick. He's the one that won our age group yesterday and today by a lot. He actually beat Ida's time today by 1 minute. He made sure to let her know that because he trains with her. And Ida, as well as Leon. So the three Danes going to be on a team.
Oh, cool.
So the co-ed one seems to be the big one. I'm not familiar with any women's only events. I know Lindsay was very disappointed that she couldn't find. She's not allowed to do teams because there's not enough Canadians here. So that is a bummer. Yeah. If you're hearing this and you want to join Lindsay, let her know. She told me to ask for people. I don't know enough Canadians here. I'm a little bummed out. And then there's a bunch of men's teams, but there's a lot of people that I don't want to get them mixed up. But it should be an exciting day tomorrow.
It really should. So there's men's, then co-ed, and then women's right after that.
Yes.
So all that's going to happen, and then come 3 o'clock is going to be the finals for the 100-meter.
Yeah.
We both got to do that today?
Yeah. I did the 50-meter. I did the special one.
What? Oh, okay.
That's all I made it.
Well, it wasn't actually 100 meters. So
I didn't think so.
I think it was about 50 meters.
Okay.
But
so I made 25.
Either way,
so much worse.
Really unique, really cool race. Yes. I mean, like blasting through it, man, my heart rate got up so fast. And, after that, I was like, I don't even want to do a second try because I'm done. Yeah. Like, it was good. It was fun.
And not blasting through it, my forearms were just completely done. So that cargo net can get not fun. I don't like it.
So we're hoping to show that. And then have basically like a end of the team recap.
Should be fun.
End of the weekend recap right after that. And if we time it just right, we might even get to see the fireworks.
That'd be great. That's happening at 8. Yeah, I'm excited because I feel like the 100 meter has been very neglected because you don't know when an amazing athlete's going. You don't know when Joe Schmo's going. Exciting to watch both, I think personally. But tomorrow we'll see the big dogs come into play. We'll probably see Benny Gifford. We'll probably see Logan Broadbent. I know he's given it his all out there, so I'm excited.
Yeah, so tune in tomorrow morning at 8:15 and catch it all, and we'll see you then.
Stay hydrated.